Honorable, when the current constitution was promulgated, there was hope and excitement, notwithstanding concerns about key issues like multipartism, federal, and the land question, which were skated. What are we to make of its 30 years? Does it still offer the hope and excitement envisaged then?
A constitution should be made in the image of the people who are going to use it. That's why all over the world, there are all sorts of constitutional arrangements. So it is not so much really what you pack into a constitution. It is about the spirit which informs the constitution and the extent to which the interests are galvanized. Now, 30 years later, we can look back and ask, how has the journey been? It started with hope. It has ended with a lot of misgivings. The Constitution has deliverables. It should deliver democracy. In other words, elections should represent the true will of the people. As I talk now, citizens are not satisfied with the quality of our elections, national elections, and even the elections that take place internally in political parties. The Constitution is supposed to deliver economic opportunity. The Constitution, as I talk now, creates a kind of imbalance in terms of the exercise of power. The Constitution is supposed to have checks and balances, but the executive branch is overbearing. The legislature and the judiciary are subordinate in the actual sense of the word. And that is why when the judiciary, for instance, makes pronouncements about certain cases, they are rubbished by people in the executive branch. That's not a good thing. So it is one thing having a constitution, it is another thing having constitutionalism. So to use a familiar phrase, we have a constitution, but we are yet to have constitutionalism.
Some people have argued that the Constitution died, especially when it was repped to remove term limits to satisfy the president's appetite for a third term. But then came the beating of members of parliament to pulp in 2017 to remove the age limit. Do you think so?
We have gutted the Constitution, really. The Constitution was supposed to ensure that nobody clings to power. That's why we put term limits. I don't know why those who were in the Constituent Assembly did not entrench it, but when the term limits were removed, it now opened the way for a life presidency to anybody who can maneuver and get voters to endorse him or her. The other thing which was a safeguard against a life presidency was the age limit. I'm not a supporter of the age limit, but the age limit was a kind of handbrake. If the term limits were the brakes and they were removed, then you would say the age limit were the handbrakes. So the handbrakes were also now removed.
A growing concern is how legislation and constitutional amendments are handled. MPs are now tools for hire to pass amendments. Do you think it has lessened people's hopes?
When people vote legislators, they expect some deliverables. Now, these deliverables are not coming. Secondly, people expect that the members of parliament will make decisions based on reason, based on the laws, and based on good practices, traditions of good lawmaking. Now, when for one reason or another, decisions are made based on who pays the most, the quality of decisions degenerate. It downgrades democracy, it undermines the confidence of the public and also the dignity of the parliament. It is a betrayal of the trust that the voters bestow upon the legislators.